we just wrapped up with the NFL draft. Now we're moving on to another big event in about 2 weeks. Downtown Detroit will transform into a racetrack for the Grand Prix.
And you can already feel the excitement. There is going to be a lot to do for families, for visitors, including lots of free activities as well. Jordan Burroughs joins us now live downtown to give us some details on that free access for fans. Free is always good, Jordan.
Yeah, free is always great, and that's the name of the game for the Detroit Grand Prix. That is, until you get to Saturday, Sunday, and really get into the heart of the Detroit Grand Prix. We showed you a couple cars earlier. This car's not free. I mean, I don't know what this bad boy costs, but this car is absolutely beautiful. And you know who was driving this car? This gentleman here, Bud Denker, chairman of the Detroit Grand Prix. Bud, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for being down here this morning.
Before I ask anything else, how sweet is that ride?
Oh, they're great cars. These Corvette C8s are just great vehicles. Value for the equation is an unbelievable performance. The handling, they're great cars.
We've got the Detroit Grand Prix in just a little more than 2 weeks away. Let's talk Friday and Saturday, the days leading up to the Detroit Grand Prix. Friday, we know Comerica Bank does that free day, but Saturday arguably might be a little more important. What did you say was going on Saturday?
Saturday, for the first time, we have the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCars coming to town. Didn't have them last year. They're going to be here this year. The same cars that race in the Rolex 24 Hours, the same cars that race in the 24 Hours Le Mans, are going to be here racing Saturday afternoon. The Porsches, the Cadillacs, the Acuras, BMW. It's going to be a great show.
How do you get those people to come here for that?
Well, they all want to come to Detroit, right? The Motor City, capital of the world. So they're all been waiting to come here. And this year, because of Le Mans being a couple weeks back, we could have them racing here this year. So Indy cars on Sunday racing, sports cars on Saturday racing, qualifying, practice both days, but also Friday, as you mentioned, is a full day of practice and qualifying as well.
When all the drivers come out here, regardless of what car they're going to be driving, because we have all different kinds of events for those 3 days, what's usually the takeaway from the drivers about the Grand Prix and the events downtown?
Well, it's about the fans. It's about our city, right? They're so passionate about cars. They're so passionate about performance. So passionate about racing, so they love now being from Belle Isle to downtown. Imagine going 190 miles an hour down Jefferson Avenue legally. They all love that as well.
Legally, you had to throw that in there, right? I know that usually the day after the Grand Prix, like last year, was when you start planning for an event this big. What went into it this year? Was there a different mindset leading into 2 weeks from now for the Grand Prix?
Well, you take away what worked last year, and a lot of it worked so well. Michael Montry and the team I have here do a great job determining it. Some resurfacing of the roads to make it smoother in a few areas, better passing. We had 190 passes last year in the IndyCar race. So
a lot.
It's a very, very good track. Short track, but for the fans, they have 100 laps to see these cars come around. So come on out. It's free, as you know, for half of the track. Tickets still available on DetroitGP.com, and we're going to have a great weekend.
And, Bud, what do you love about the weekend, the Detroit Grand Prix weekend? What really speaks to you?
I love the faces of the fans, but the smiles of the people that are down here. I also love the fact we're giving back over $100 million economic benefit to our city. So the draft was just here. It was a great boost to our city. The Grand Prix is coming back in just 16 days. So come on out, go on to DetroitGP.com and buy your tickets.
For families that are going to come out here, maybe for the first time too, what's some advice for them, maybe on how to get down here and navigate too?
Well, park anywhere. Use the people mover like they did in the draft. As you see around us, a lot of parking decks as well. Go to Hart Plaza for the family. The Meyer Fan Zone will be down there for the kids. There's something for everybody to do here besides just racing that weekend.
And eventually, we were just taking a look at what will be the suites. There are certain price points for everybody. There are certain areas for people to sit, whether it's in the garages, in the suites. If you just want to walk around down here, you can do that certainly as well. Bud, before we let you go, do you have any maybe predictions for the Grand Prix? We go for the IndyCar drivers on that Sunday?
Well, of course, with Team Penske, who I work for, obviously, you always want to see a Team Penske driver in front lane. You also want to see a Chevrolet, of course, too, right? Mm-hmm. They're our partner here. But all we want is a great, competitive, safe race. Okay,
I like that answer. They come from the Indy 500. They're just making left turns, all day. And obviously, when you come down here, completely different circuit. The Detroit Grand Prix is going to be awesome. Here in downtown Detroit, like you said, millions of dollars invested into the city. Bud Denker, he's chairman of the Detroit Grand Prix. Bud, thank you for joining us this morning. Chris and Sandra, many more guests to come on this show. I don't know if we're going to get any nicer cars than this, but this will do for now. Detroit Grand Prix just 16 days away. Toss it back to you guys.
Yeah, it'll do for sure.
It will. That's a lot nicer than any car I see in our parking lot outside here at CBS News Detroit. Thanks for that, Jordan.
Jordan, thank you. The Detroit Grand Prix kicks off May 31st, as you heard Jordan mention, and it runs through June 2nd. Happening downtown. You can get tickets on the Grand Prix website, DetroitGP.com. You can also buy tickets in person You can buy them at the West Box office right there on Jefferson Avenue, the GM Renaissance Center, or the East Box office on Woodbridge Avenue. A free pre-day that is set for Friday, May 31st, and a ticket for that is not required.